For Honor has a lot of mysteries, new and old, like why are the minions so small? Why is this skeleton so huge?
Damn, boy, he's thick! Boy, that's a thick-ass boy!
And do I have a shot to get with Apollyon? The game has been around for 9 years. There has been a mystery which has never been talked about and solved until today. The Forgotten Samurai Clan. This samurai clan has only made 2 appearances, one in the For Honor Kensei trailer, which was the original trailer that showed off Kensei as a character, which was 8 years ago.
Here I come. Oh, here I come.
Hello there.
And in the For Honor gameplay walkthrough Viking campaign mission at E3 2016, which was basically 9 years ago. Damn, I feel really old. I have tried to get in contact with Ubisoft to see if they have any information about the Samurai Clan and what it could represent, who it could belong to, and what is the real story behind the Samurai Clan. I have tried getting in contact on multiple different platforms and ways. I tried reaching out to personal developers and ex-developers of the game, even concept artists. Unfortunately, they never either responded, or people who did have the chance to respond, they had no idea what this flag was, and they've never seen it before. This is why I've been going mentally insane trying to figure out what this flag is. And that's probably why you haven't been seeing me very well. Before we continue, I just want to give a massive thanks to BlubberMcflubber, who has not only recreated this Forgotten Samurai Clan's flag, but done an amazing job too. This looks absolutely beautiful, and just imagine this flag being in game. It just looks so amazing. Without his help, we would still be using low polygon pictures to represent this flag. Thanks to him, we actually get to see what this clan could have looked like in-game. If you haven't done so already, please, I highly recommend checking out his content. He does amazing artwork on Twitter.
New card. What do you think?
Whoa, very nice. Look at that.
As well as his YouTube, he does really wonderful videos, and especially his thumbnails are just out of this world. He does deserve a lot more love and support than myself and a lot of other For Honor content creators in this field, so please check him out. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about what the flag could represent in real life history, as well as trying to figure out what the story could be behind this Forgotten Samurai Clan. Let us take a closer look at the flag about this Forgotten Samurai Clan. The top symbol is closely related to the Sarada clan Kamon, known as the Roku Minsen, or the 6-coin crest. This mon of the Sarada family, although the imagery of the coin itself should not only be associated with the Sarada clan symbol, it was also a symbol that came from China. The coin itself was a symbol of wealth. The Japanese believed they must cross the Zanzu River in the underworld to cross over to the afterlife. The dead would have to pay a toll fee of 6 coins, proudly emblazoned on their Shinamoto battle standards and armor. The Roku Minsen symbolizes the Sarada clan's resolve in the face of battle, having paid their toll fee to the afterlife. The Sarada clan warriors had no fear of death and were ready to die in battle. As for the symbol on the middle of the flag, I could not find the exact kamon to fit the description, but however, I did find one that is pretty similar and close to it. As well, this symbol has also been used in For Honor multiple times, so it's quite fitting that it would probably be this one. The mon is commonly known as Yatsume, 4 eyes. The significance of the crest is related primarily to the associations of the Okiyama family. However, the graphic design of the 8 squares relates directly to the number of 8 Hakoyu, which is a Japanese martial art, specifically a jiu-jitsu style founded by Raiku Hokiyama in 1941. And the 4 eyes denotes preparedness from being attacked from all directions. It is also believed that the symbol 4 eyes guards against evil and ward away evil spirits. The Okayama family are descendants of the famous Genji clan, more famously known as the Minamoto clan. The clan was popularized in the famous Heian period. The symbol was used by the Minamoto clan, especially by the Udan Genji, descendants of the Emperor Udan. They were essentially split into many clans such as the Rakaku clan and Sasaki clan. As for the bottom symbol, there are a lot of Japanese symbols of flowers. Can be pretty hard to find the exact symbol. That's why I've listed 2 variants which I think are the most likely to be it. The Sakuramon has about 200 known variants, and yet it is an emblem that is rarely seen nowadays. The cherry blossom represents beauty, but is also a symbol of death because they soon wither away. Several Buddhist temples use the Sakuramon as their emblem, notably in the ancient capital of Nara. Cherry blossoms have been cherished in Japan since the Heian period, first among aristocrats, later by samurai and commoners. They represent the arrival of spring and new beginnings, deeply woven into Japanese culture. As a family crest, the Sakuramon has been used both by noble and commoner families, symbolizing a bond of elegance and approachability. As well as historically, they represent the brief but colorful life of the samurai warriors of feudal Japan. They lived by a strict moral code of respect, honor, and discipline called Bushido. Their duty was to follow and preserve these values, to be fearless warriors even in the face of death. Fallen cherry blossoms or petals symbolize the end of the samurai's short-lived life. The Tokimon, a Japanese family crest featuring the image of a bloom flower, which is specifically associated with the Toki clan and their descendants. The term Fujikiyo, which translates to Tokyo's bloom flower in Japan. The bloom flower symbolizes endless love, honesty, and obedience. It is also associated with modesty, elegance, and a certain strength. This symbol is famously used by the Akachi clan, which is famous for its service to the Oda clan as well as its betrayal to Oda Nobunaga, which is still a mystery on why it even happened in the first place. The Akachi clan formed around the later part of the Sengoku period of the 16th century. Akachi Mitsuhide was the head of the family. He would become the general under Oda Nobunaga. He was originally the bodyguard of the late Ashikaga shogunate, and later one of the trusted generals under Daimyo Oda Nobunaga during his personal war to unify Japan. However, in 1582, Akachi Mitsuhide would betray Oda Nobunaga at the temple of Hojojin and force him to commit seppuku. The Akachi clan gained more power thanks to the corpse of the Oda clan. Later the same year, Akachi Mitsuhide was slain at the Battle of Yamazaki by the forces of Hideyoshi. The clan would quickly fall from grace after that. An interesting detail in Ubisoft's newest game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, the Itachi clan warriors' banners and symbols are using the color orange. However, in historical documents, they have been described to use the color sky blue. It is interesting to see the Itachi clan, which is represented in Assassin's Creed Shadows, as well as our mystery samurai clan, both using a similar symbol and having the color orange. Now, I think this is more of a coincidence, as well as just more of a subtle thing, not really a groundbreaking discovery. But I do find it interesting, and I'd like to hear your opinion on it. Now moving on to talking about the actual banner color, orange. Not many clans have actually used this color or have been documented using some sort of orange. However, some clans have used it, like the Taira, the Mori, and the Maeda clan. There are probably hundreds of samurai clans and families out there which may have used the color orange. But when I think of the color orange, to do with Japanese culture, I think of the second great unifier of Japan, Hideyoshi, because of his brilliant and spectacular samurai armor. Did you know certain shades of orange were forbidden colors in feudal Japan, specifically for those not of higher ranks in the imperial court and nobility? These forbidden colors, known as kinchoki, were reserved for the emperor and the crown prince and higher ranking officials. The color represents the sun at the dawn, It's reserved for the crown prince, who perhaps will reach the heavens and become the future full emperor of the sun. We've talked about the samurai flag and what it could possibly represent, as well as some interesting facts that could align with a samurai clan. Before we continue with the major theory parts of the video, as well as the history, did you know more than 80% of people haven't subscribed? Now that is a lot of people. Just imagine if Saito Taramori had 80% more people on his side. He probably would have beaten the Meiji government, and that means probably more samurai would still be around today.
My first theory is that the samurai clan could be based off the Sarada clan. The Sarada clan were originally vassals of the great Takeda Shingen, warlord and ruler of Kai province. The feats of the Sarada clan are legendary. Twice they were able to repel Tokugawa armies many times the size of their own, from attacking their small dominions as well as their sturdy castles like Uda. After the Takeda clan was destroyed by the Oda and Tokugawa, the leader of the clan, Sarada Mitsuyuki, managed to keep their independence by playing many important samurai clans against each other, as well as having a strong hatred towards the Tokugawa clan. Udon Castle was able to repel the mighty Tokugawa forces twice, the first time in August to December of 1585 with 7,000 Tokugawa troops against 2,000, and again in 1600 when 3,000 Sarada samurai held off 38,000 samurai of Tokugawa Hidesada. In the first battle of Uda, the Sarada clan under Sarada Mitsuyuki led the Tokugawa attackers close to the castle, ambushing them from behind with a reserved army. Just as the Tokugawa started to attack, confused and unable to recover, the Tokugawa retreated. A second attempt was planned, however support from the Sarada's most powerful ally, the Uesugi clan, forced the Tokugawa to reconsider and retreat. Victory was claimed by Mitsuyuki, and reputation for the Sarada clan henceforth would be known as legendary in their battles against the Tokugawa forces. An interesting point I want to bring up. Kensei has an antler ornament which is very similar to Sarada Yukimura, who was a Japanese samurai warrior of the Sengoku period, who is especially known as the leading general on the defending side of the Siege of Osaka. The Siege of Osaka was a series of battles undertaken by Japanese Tokugawa shogunate against Toyotomi clan. Before the Siege of Osaka, Yukimura built a small fortress in the southern western corner of Osaka, defended by 7,000 men under Yukimura's command. From then on, he would defeat the Tokugawa forces, approximately 30,000 men, with a group of 6,000 arquebuses. The shogun forces were repeatedly repelled, and the Sarada troops launched a numberous attacks against the siege lines, breaking through 3 times. It is said that Sarada Yukimura almost killed Tokugawa Ieyasu during the siege of Osaka in the summer's camp. Yukimura's forces charged Ieyasu's main camp, breaking through the elite Tokugawa guards and vassals, and came close to killing him. But after failing to kill Ieyasu and being injured, he would retreat to Shonati Temple, where he would sit on a camp stool and rest, and allow a Tokugawa samurai to take his head. And he was dubbed the greatest samurai in Japan by one of the daimyos from the Tokugawa's side. Yukimura was also mentioned as a hero that only appears once in 100 years, the Crimson Demon of War, and the last Sengoku hero.
Due to the middle symbol having multiple references to samurai families and clans, which I've decided to talk about one I haven't already discussed about in a previous section. The Rakaku clan, founded by Sasaki Yatsuna of the Omi province in the 13th century. The name Rakaku was taken from their residence within Kyoto. However, many members of the family continued to be called Sasaki. Over the course of the Muromachi period, members of the clan held high posts of Constable Shugo, which is the governor of various provinces. Rakaku Yoshikata was the samurai head of the clan during the Japanese Sengoku period. He was the Shugo governor and later daimyo of the area of the southern Omi province. He served as castellan of the Kanji castle. He later became in his life a Buddhist monk. Yoshikata fought in many battles of control of the Kyoto area during this period in 1549. He became allied with Hosakata Minato against Miyoshi Chokei and succeeded his father as the head of the family in 1552. Seeing an opportunity, Hazai Hasamasa of the North Omi invaded the Rakaku territory. Defeating the Hazai clan, they were forced to become vassals to the Rakaku clan. Yoshikata entered Buddhism priesthood in 1559, passing on his status within the family to his son, but remained active in the family's battles nevertheless. Yoshikata would lead his forces to battle the following year against the Hazai clan, seeking to undermine their control over their territory. He was sorely defeated in this battle of Narada, which marked the beginning of the end of the Rakaku clan. As for the Sasaki clan, not much is known about them except for one of their members known among the Sasaki clan, no other than Sasaki Kojiro, the famous swordsman and rival of Minamoto Musashi. He is primarily known for the story of his duel with Minamoto Musashi in 1612, where Sasaki was killed, although suffering from a defeat as well as death at the hands of Musashi. He is a revered and respected warrior in Japanese history and culture. Later, Minamoto Musashi even proclaimed that Sasaki Kojiro was the strongest opponent he ever faced in his life. The duel began with both men on the ground as a show of respect for each other's skill with their own style and technique. In the end though, there can only be one winner. Musashi had predicted Kojiro to make the first strike. The duel ended with Musashi quickly and violently striking Kojiro, crushing his skull with a vertical strike. Sasaki Kojiro was known also as the Demon of the Western Provinces. He was a master swordsman who was born in the Fuki Prefecture. He earned this nickname because of his skill with the Nodachi, since the Nodachi swords were often depicted as something that a demon would use. He was also known as Ganryu, a name shared with the sword style which he usually came up with. Ganryu, which means large rock style, involves the use of the Nodachi, which he was known for a particular technique called Sabama Gashi, which translates to turning swallow's cut. Swallows move very fast and elegantly. They can also change directions very quickly, which this is where the name of this technique came from. The speed that he went from with his first swing to the next was extremely fast, which this is quite surprising considering he was wielding a very long sword. Most daimyo and generals have their own clan in forhonor, except for 3, Tozen, Fujikiyo, and Terumori, because they are in the Imperial House. Except for Terumori, he is also in Ayu's clan as well for some reason. The Imperial House is one of the most powerful houses of the Dawn Empire, tasked with defending several major locations. This house belongs to the Emperor and his imperial family, which was annihilated during the purge by Apollyon and/or Vikings.
Daimyo, your emperor is dead.
You executed the Imperial family.
If you remember, I did mention that the flag did appear during the campaign mission where the Vikings attacked the samurai on Beachhead, and the commander of that fort is no other than Fujikiyo.
Fort's commander was Fujikiyo, the samurai champion. His name had reached across the sea. Even the Vikings knew of his legend. There, the war-born raider would face him.
Fujikiyo was the commander in charge of Fort Kaiokabe. Before he was the commander of that fort, he was the champion of the samurai. whose feats in battle earned the attention of the Emperor, as well as the attention of the Vikings across the sea. As a result, he was appointed commander of Fort Kaiokabe. Fujikiyo and his samurai forces knew the Vikings were coming, but unfortunately they did not have the resources or the manpower to stop them from destroying and entering into the fort, forcing Fujikiyo to have one final duel against the raider to hopefully win against the Vikings. Unfortunately, he would meet his end by the raider. Something interesting that you may not know about Fujikiyo is that he's gone through many different versions. His original name and appearance was completely different. He was named Saburo.
Time to fight Saburo. He's one of the many bosses that you'll encounter in For Honor's campaign.
As well as his colors were orange instead of being the typical red which we are used to. As for the name Saburo, it could be related to Saburo Sakai, who was a Japanese naval aviator and a flying ace of the Imperial Japanese Navy during World War II. He has also been given the nickname Sky Samurai and Angel of Death. Sakai had 28 aerial victories, shooting down or severely damaging well over 60 Allied aircrafts, including one story in 1942 where he shot down 3 confirmed aircraft in the span of 15 seconds. Sakai's most famous exploit was when he was shot in the face by an enemy pilot. The shot destroyed his vision in his right eye and crippled his entire left side of his body. His plane nosedived down, extinguishing the flames. He was able to repair himself and wipe away the blood from his eye. He was able to retake control of his plane. Sakai would famously fly 1,040 kilometers journey back to base, but upside down. This was believed to help him to remain conscious. After the war, Sakai would become a Buddhist and vowed to never harm another living thing again. The name Saburo could also be related to a character in the Japanese play Morosutsa. The play is based off the fight between Toyotomi and the Takagawa clans and the siege of Osaka. The drama was set during an older period and the names were changed to disguise the protagonist's identity to avoid the shogun's censorship. The play features Sasaki Saburo Moromutsa, who is supposed to be based off Sarada Nobu Mutsuyuki. Sasaki was the elder brother of Sasaki Tetsumuna, an important Genji warrior. He fought the Heike clan during the Genpei Wars. He was also awarded an important fiefdom in the province of Bizen for his brilliant service at the Battle of Fujito. He would later become a priest. Now I'm going to just talk about a couple theories on what this clan could have been, as well as why was this clan removed in the first place. The other flag in-game in For Honor with the Sasaki symbol, I actually personally believe that it may not be actually based off that clan. It could have possibly meant to be based off the Takeda clan due to the colors and how it's actually represented. Now, Ubisoft has never been a very much accurate representation of Japanese history, especially in For Honor and other games like Assassin's Creed Shadows, which you could do your research on and figure out that they've done a pretty bad job at. So I personally think that maybe that flag could be based off the Takeda, and the mystery flag was based off the Sarada, being basically a vassal and an underling of that clan. Another really big possible idea is that this flag of this mystery clan was actually supposed to go to Fujikiyo, because Fujikiyo was originally named Saburo, his colors were orange, and he was completely different, which is more fitting to the flag that we actually have to look at.
Coincidence? I think not!
Unfortunately, Fujikiyo, also known as Saburo, had a lot of changes, and a lot of that character was basically removed before the final game was added. I'd recommend watching any other videos of mine and you'll know that. As well, if you do know that even when we did get the original Fujikiyo, his colors were completely changed, all the symbols were as well as his dialogue eventually was also removed later on, a couple years after the campaign was finished and made, which is very strange. Another idea is that there is another orange samurai flag clan in-game, It could be possible that this flag does also still belong to our mystery samurai clan flag, because some samurai clans in For Honor do have multiple flags, so it may be possible that it's still a multiple flag of that clan, and they just decide to cut the full orange one because they thought it may not look as good, or it may be too similar to another thing that they may not like. That's why they probably got rid of it, or the new flag is replacing the old one. So either option there could work with that. Now let's talk about why did they remove the flag. I have an interesting theory, is that first off, because of how they were removing everything of Fujikiyo and Saburo, it just got removed. The other interesting theory is that due to it being extremely orange, they got rid of it because of obviously the contrast with attackers and defenders being orange, as well as Apollyon's group being orange, and they didn't want to add too many orange clans or colors into the game to make people either confused, or, you know, it wouldn't look as good. Like, it wouldn't look too good if the Apollyon orange knights are killing samurai which are in orange. It kind of looks a bit strange. Unfortunately, I don't think we're ever going to know the true story behind this mystery samurai clan. We can only speculate, and especially for such an interesting mystery like this. Who knows, maybe one day Ubisoft may give me the secrets of this clan, which I highly doubt because I don't think they like me at all, but we can hope. Please, in the comments below, don't forget to tell me what you think. Which theory do you think is the most likely on this clan being based off? Do you believe in my theories? Do you think that there's a different thing that I may have missed? And if there's any information that you might even have about this mystery samurai clan, please tell me in the comments below. I want to give another big thanks to BlubberMcflubber, who designed the Forgotten Samurai's clan's flag, so we can actually properly see it. He did an amazing job, and please, I highly recommend checking out his channel. As well, I want to give a thanks to Cloaker, who has designed the lovely thumbnail that you'll be seeing, as well as at the end. He did an amazing job, and I highly recommend checking out his content as well, because he does some great stuff. So please don't forget to check out these two great content creators, because they've not only just helped me make this lovely video about the Forgotten Samurai Clan, but they do some really amazing content. I do hope you enjoyed this video, and please don't forget to like and subscribe because it really does help out the channel, and hopefully you'll see me again soon.